Welcome along to West Wales Karting Virtual Racing, and today we are here at the Snetterton 200 circuit, a 2 mile 8 turn track, quite a flat course compared to what we've been racing on recently, and Alex CDL has taken pole position just ahead of the Big Bad Wolf and Chris Doherty in third place, and they're coming up to the lights now and they're waiting for the green light, and it's go, they're into the first corner. Going down into the first corner, who's going to get there first? It's Alex and Big Bad Wolf. Scuderius Sam's looking down the inside from fourth place. He's up on two wheels. He didn't quite get through there. And it's Alex who's maintained the first position. And there's battles all the way through the field as they go down now into Montreal, a tight hairpin. There's Stuart Davis there having a look down the inside, and Scuderius Sam and BDCC Dan get together. And BDCC Dan has spun around and he's hit then by It's Ewan. There's a collision, and now it's Stuart Davis looking at the back of Scuderius Sam as they fight over fourth and fifth position. And D-Man 221 is just behind, waiting to pick off any scraps that unfold here as they go down into the tight corner here. And that's Big Bad Wolf. He's lost it. Yeah, and that's Stuart Davis is off as well. As he had a look, there's both cars off there. Big Bad Wolf and Stuart Davis are both on the grass, and they're recovering now back to the circuit. Both made the same error. It's very tight. Very tricky into that corner though. You're braking and turning left for a right-hander with a big sausage curb on the inside ready to take you out. So those two drivers there, a bit cold tyres, they're both off the circuit, but they've got good pace and they'll be coming back through the field. Stuart Davis now there. He's coming into the straight and he's all over Scuderius Sam, who had a poor exit, and he's side by side with D-Man 221. Oh, and they've crashed. And they're both in the barrier on the inside of the circuit. Stuart Davis has crashed with two other cars now, unfixed drone involved there. And I couldn't quite see who else it was. I think it was Big Bad Wolf who was also recovering, and as it's Ewan making his way past the lot of them as they're all lost a lot of momentum on that straight, because that crash happened halfway down the straight there. Stuart Davis and D-Man 221 couldn't quite stay out of each other's way, and just a racing incident I think there. And the Stuart Davis recovering, he takes two cars there on the inside. Two cars in one go, fantastic. But Unfixed Drone is fighting back now as they scrabble over fifth and sixth position. So there's D-Man, he's looking at the back of BDCC Dan, who's also recovering. So a few scraps going on here as a few incidents in the first few corners. And there's Unfixed Drone on board now, looking at Stuart Davis just ahead, defending the inside line. And he's had a poor exit, so Unfixed Drone is all over the back of him. He's having a good opening couple of laps. So up ahead we've got Alex CDL, who started from pole position. He's leading by just 7 tenths from Chris Doherty, who's up into second. Scuderius Sam is up from fourth to third, courtesy of all the carnage that went on. And Big Bad Wolf and Stuart Davis. Oh, and there's Unfixed Drone. He's off the track. He's back on now, and he's lost 3 positions there. He's down to last and 9th position now. And it's Ewan and D-Man 221 side by side going down the main straight. BTCC Dan is just ahead of them. But who's going to get into the first corner first here? Is it D-Man who's going down the outside? He's just made it stick still, and it's Ewan. He's lost a bit of control halfway through the corner. I think they might have touched a bit, and that allowed Unfixed Drone through as well. So it's Ewan who's back down into 9th position now, and Unfixed Drone is up to 8th. And there's D-Man 221, he's looking at the back of BDCC Dan. And this is the fight for the lead, look. And Chris Doherty has got Alex CDL. And he's into the lead. Chris Doherty, who did very well when we ran the touring car race at Brands Hatch, but unfortunately lost control after a tight battle with Alex CDL there. And he's showing a good turn of pace in these Renault Clio Cup cars that we are using here today. And the Renault Clio Cup cars have been a very popular car and class to race in the PS4 races that we've been running. Very close battles going on there. Now Alex CDL has got a run on Chris Doherty as they go side by side down the main straight. We're on board with Alex CDL, but Chris Doherty has got the slightly better speed down the straight, and he cuts back in to take the racing line, and he stays ahead of Alex. But there's a tight hairpin coming up now, and Alex will be looking down the inside surely. Yes, he is. He goes down the inside. Who's going to brake later? It's Alex CDL. He braked just a touch later than Chris, and he managed to get back through. So there's a fantastic scrap going on for the lead of the race here between two drivers who very much like these front-wheel drive type of cars. They both did very well in the touring cars that we've run a couple of times, and they're showing that again here in the Clios. This corner is very tricky. It's caught out a lot of drivers during the practices that we've seen and qualifying as well. And I'm sure that there'll be more drivers in trouble in that corner later in the race. And I think we saw in the background, just as I say it, Big Bad Wolf, who already had an incident at that corner on the first lap, and he was off again there while he's trying to chase down Scuderia Sam. He certainly got more pace than Scuderia Sam, which we're looking at now. But if he keeps throwing it off the track, then it's going to give Scuderia Sam a chance to get that last place on the podium. Of course, he's won a few races in these virtual races that we've been running, but he hasn't really shown much speed in these front-wheel drive type of cars. So I think he's just in damage limitation mode here, trying to drive consistently as we ride on board. And now we're riding on board with Chris, who's right back up on the back of Alex here, and he's looking down the inside, and he repays the favour, I think, brakes later. Same move that Alex did on him the lap before, but Alex tries to stick it around the outside, but it didn't quite work out there. And now they go on to the back straight, the Bentley straight as it's known. And now we look at D-Man 221, who's fighting for, he is in 6th place, fighting with BDCC Dan over 5th place. And just behind we can see Unfixed Throne in 7th. So it's a really good scrap going on, and Stuart Davis is behind this battle, and he'll be closing quickly, I'd imagine, because he's shown some good pace in qualifying and the practicing. This is the corner that's catching everyone out. Brundle and Nelson corners. And we can see now as we ride on board with Unfixed Throne just up ahead, we've got BTCC Dan in 5th and D-Man 221 in 6th position. Oh, and there's contact. Oh, and D-Man, he braked late, and I think he ran into the back of BTCC Dan, and they were both off the track there. Unfixed Throne says, thank you very much, I will take over 6th position, and I'll have a go at getting 5th as well. So that was unfortunate for D-Man 221, who's dropped back down to 7th, but BTCC Dan is still in 5th, or is he? Because Unfixed Throne is right over the back of him as they're coming down to turn 1 on lap number 6 here. And number 5 car there of Unfixed Throne goes around the outside BTCC Dan, but BTCC Dan's got the inside for the hairpin, and I think he holds position. And there, as you can see, is the orange car, black and orange car of Stuart Davis, who is closing in all the while these guys are battling, so he'll be on them before long. And there's D-Man, he's going down the inside of Unfixed Throne. They're side by side as they go into the most treacherous corner on the circuit. Who's gonna come out in the lead? I think it's D-Man. Yeah, D-Man's ahead. Oh, he takes a lot of that curb though. That's not going to help his exit very much. But BTCC Dan, look, has had an even worse exit, and he's now been passed. And this is fantastic scrap going on, because this is all over 5th, 6th and 7th. And it's going to be a 4-way scrap before long, as Stuart now closes onto the back. Stuart Davis we ride on board with now, in 8th position at the moment. He's all over the back of this trio. As you see a car go up on 2 wheels there, I think that was BTCC Dan taking that curb. And these cars, as soon as you lose a bit of momentum by going up on 2 wheels, you've had it down the next straight. If there's someone behind you, they're probably going to pull alongside you. They're not overly powerful cars, so it's all about trying to carry that apex speed as much as you can, and taking them by the scruff of the neck and really going for it. They reward drivers who do that. And still riding on board here with Stuart as they go back onto the back straight now. And that's BTCC Dan there and Unfixed Throne, and Stuart goes to the inside, is going to be 3 wide going down the straight. And BTCC Dan there gets past on both sides, I think. But we'll wait to see who goes into Brundles first. And I think it's Stuart Davis. Oh, but BTCC Dan is spun around on the inside of Brundle corner. But Stuart Davis is away, and so is D-Man 221 is up ahead, and Unfixed Throne was through as well. So BTCC Dan has another incident there, as we see Alex EDL has pitted from fighting for the lead there with Chris Doherty. So we'll see how that strategy plays out. And this is Scuderia Sam now, and Big Bad Wolf who gets through. Big Bad Wolf is through up ahead of Scuderia Sam, but he's off a bit now. He's off at turn 1 as they start lap number 8. And Scuderia Sam will be having a look down the inside. God, the action's happening absolutely everywhere. Big Bad Wolf, he stays ahead of Scuderia Sam. But Big Bad Wolf has made a few mistakes in this race, so Scuderia Sam will be hoping that he makes a few more, because I think on pure pace, the Wolf has got him beat here today, so we'll see how that plays out. But the strategy for the lead is going to be very interesting, as we see D-Man battling away there. Because... Oh, and as I said earlier, Big Bad Wolf, he's made another error. That's the 3rd time, I think, he's spun off at that corner, so he's clearly having some handling issues there. He might have the pace, but he hasn't quite got the consistency at the moment, and that's allowed Scuderia Sam, as we ride on board with him back through up into 2nd place, because Alex has pitted, of course. You see a load of cars that clobber that curve, and Unfixed Drone has clobbered it a bit too much because he's spun round again. And he's fallen back. He's 8th now. He's away from this battle that he was part of with Stewart and BDCC Dan and D-Man 221 all scrapping away. As we see Alex there now in 5th. So he is obviously fighting for the lead. But look at the traffic he's got to deal with now. He's battling away with Stewart for 4th and 5th now. And Stewart won't just be waving him through. As I know Stewart, he's a feisty competitor, and he'll be challenging as hard as he can for every ounce of lap time he can get. But you might be better off, looking at the lap times, just to let Alex through and follow him and try and learn a few things from his line. Because look, Alex now, he's losing so much time. He's off the road as we ride on board with him. Stuart Davis still ahead. And Chris Doherty will be absolutely loving this. He'll be having a look at the timing charts, and he'll be seeing him fall further and further and further behind. And as it stands right now, don't be too surprised to see Chris Doherty well ahead when Chris Doherty's pitted. As we look at the timing charts, Chris Doherty's in 3rd. Yes, I'm hearing he has pitted, so if we look at the standings there, look at that, 5 seconds ahead. So that was very good opportunistic driving by Chris. There he is. He saw that Alex was in the traffic after his pit stop, and he's managed to make his pit stop and make up 5 seconds, and that really could be crucial in this race. Alex now has a lot of work to do. He's still behind Stewart, look. He has a lot of work to do to catch back up. He needs to get past Stewart as quick as he can, and Stewart makes a mistake coming up the last corner, Murray's corner, and I think that's allowed Alex past, and Stewart now decides to finally pit, and Alex goes through to start his hunt of Chris just up ahead. Lap number 10. He's got 11 laps to do it. They've both made their mandatory pit stops now. And the number 58 car, we'll see if he can close in on Chris, as we just saw just up ahead in the shot there, in the blue car. So blue car versus yellow car. Chris Doherty versus Alex. There's D-Man. He's going to try and follow Alex's line, learn a few tricks of the trade in these front-wheel drive cars that Alex seems to enjoy a lot. And up ahead we've got a battle for the lead going on, albeit they haven't made their pit stops yet, between Scuderia Sam and Big Bad Wolf. There's 9 tenths between them, 1.1 seconds now. Scuderia Sam pulled out a couple of tenths there. And Chris Doherty is only 9 seconds off the lead, so he'll be closing in fast on those two. So we'll see when the two up ahead make their pit stops. And we ride on board with Big Bad Wolf now, coming out of the last corner. And we see Scuderia Sam there in the red machine just up ahead. He always seems to go for the red cars. And Big Bad Wolf, I don't think he's too fussy on what car he goes for, as long as it's a winning car. But I don't know if he'll be having a winning car today, because he will need to make up a lot of ground. He's still got his pit stop left to make, as he looks down the inside of Scuderia Sam. Scuderia Sam's not really defending the corner too much, and he runs wide. Maybe, is he just letting him through there? I don't know. I don't know if Scuderia Sam would normally do that, but perhaps he realises he hasn't got the pace and he just wants to try and get as much time as possible, find some lap time, who knows. But whatever the reason, Big Bad Wolf now is up into the lead, and it'll be interesting to see when they make their pit stops, as they head down Bentley Straight, and they're powering under the Snetterton branded bridge there. Left into right, which is Nelson's corner, and Big Bad Wolf gets it all sideways going through there. Maybe they should start calling it the Big Bad Wolf corner, because he seems to have a bit of, well, I was going to say love for that corner, maybe not so much after his spins, but he either gets it very right or very wrong, doesn't he? At the moment he's getting it very right though, he's in the lead, still has his pit stop to make. Scuderia Sam riding on board, he's struggling to keep up, as you can see. He's going to try and get in the slipstream down the straight as they go over the line soon now to start lap number 12, so they're just over halfway through the race. And it's an absolute cracking race. I mean, these cars, they're not the fastest cars, maybe not the most exciting cars, but they do tend to throw up some good races, as we've seen on the PS4 console as well. So some drivers might not like them, some others not, but for the spectators it's always good, as Scuderia Sam does some rallycross over the chicane there, coming out of Montreal hairpin. And we switch back to D-Man 221 there, as we see going through, I don't know what the cameraman's doing there, he's filming some fields, but the action is on the track today, although some of it is in the fields as well, actually, thinking about it. And there's BTCC Dan, he's doing a bit of ploughing, but he's back on the track now, coming into Montreal hairpin in the white and green machine. He is in 6th place at the moment. He's done a 1 minute 23.4 second lap the last time around. That compares to a 1 minute 19.7 by Alex. Chris Doherty is at 1 minute 20.4. So Alex certainly is closing in at that rate on Chris, and he is 4 seconds now behind instead of 5 seconds. So Alex has the pace to catch him, but it's another matter to pass, as we all know in motorsport. And there's It's Ewan. He is leaving the pits now. As we see a replay now, and what we're looking at here, this is Scuderia Sam riding on board, and we're looking ahead at Big Bad Wolf, who's made a mistake again at that corner. That's the 4th time he's made a mistake there, and he's off. And Scuderia Sam's looking at in his mirrors there, just trying to, and there's Big Bad Wolf rejoining the circuit on board with him now. God, that's the 4th or 5th time he's been off at that corner, so I think it definitely needs to be renamed the Big Bad Wolf corner. There we see them now both going down the straight. Big Bad Wolf back in hot pursuit again of Scuderia Sam. You'll have a very good idea of what the back of that red car looks like as they head into turn 1 now. Big Bad Wolf, and he's lost control of it. He's he's on the grass again. He must be making up his own circuit. Maybe he doesn't like the Snetterton 200 2-mile course. He might want to try the 300-mile course or 3-mile course, Snetterton 300. His pace is such that he's still on the back of Scuderia Sam, and he's giving him a hard time. Scuderia Sam just not making any errors at this stage, but I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. And he's made an error. That genuinely wasn't planned. I didn't know, and he's all in the way of Big Bad Wolf. And who's that going past? I think is that BDCC Dan? Oh no, it's Ewan. It's Ewan has got past. Well, he's in 9th. He's been lapped because of his pit stop that we saw him make. But anyway, so Scuderia Sam lost control at the same corner, at the Big Bad Wolf corner, and but Big Bad Wolf didn't quite get past. He was actually blocked in the middle of the track as they go around Murray's corner now onto the main straight again to start lap number 14. And Big Bad Wolf was looking across there at It's Ewan. Don't know if he was giving him a friendly wave or something. But he's ahead as they go into turn 1. And he's going to be close into not close enough into the Montreal hairpin to get past Scuderia Sam this time round, but he's certainly very confident on the brakes as It's Ewan makes his way around as well. He is in 9th at the moment, and we look at D-Man 221 there. He is having a bit of a lonely time at the moment in 8th position. Just ahead of him is Unfixed Throne and Stuart Davis in 6th and 7th, who of course had a fantastic close photo finish in the Daytona race that we had at the Indy cars. And now Big Bad Wolf is all over the back of Scuderia Sam again for the lead of the race, as it is at the moment. Of course, they still got their pit stops to make, and the actual lead of the race is between Chris Doherty and Alex CDL, who have made their pit stops, and they are in 3rd and 4th and closing on this battling pair very, very quickly. I think you can just see them in the background there of that shot. And Scuderia Sam had a poor exit, and that's allowed Big Bad Wolf through again. I don't know how many times he's overtaken Scuderia Sam today. It must be a record though. Keeps overtaking him and then keeps having a joker lap. Scuderia Sam, he's just keeping it on the road for most of the time. And Big Bad Wolf once again kicking up some dirt. But anyway, the real battle that we're not seeing at the moment, but I'm sure it's developing, is between Chris Doherty and Alex CDL. And at the moment, there is only about a second between them in third and fourth, so it would be good to get some footage of that in a second, we'll see. But BDC Sudan is in 5th position. He is 31 seconds off the lead, and 3 seconds behind him is Stuart Davis. And he is being chased too by the unfixed throw. And Big Bad Wolf nearly goes off again at Big Bad Wolf corner, formerly known as Nelson Corner. And this corner is probably not the most challenging in the circuit, but it's because you've got this tight left-hander which leads onto the main straight after it. You need to really make sure you don't run too wide and you keep right so you have a good exit, because otherwise you will lose so much speed down this long straight. So they come over the line now to start lap number 16, riding on board with Scuderia Sam. And these cars have a real tendency, especially in this sort of corner, to snap away, lift off oversteer right at the back. And they're not very well planted at the back. And who's this? Is Stuart Davis going past BDC Sedan? Has BDC Sedan made a mistake there that we didn't see? Because Stuart Davis seemed to have a really good run in him halfway through that long right-hander, and he was easily passed. And look at the gap he's pulled on him already, and he's shot off down the road. He's got a lot of distance to the next car, like nearly 30 seconds to the net leaders of the race. But Big Bad Wolf and Scuderia Sam will fill that gap at some point. So it'll be interesting to see the pace that Stuart has now, to see if he can leapfrog the Big Bad Wolf and Scuderia Sam when they make their pit stops. We'll keep an eye on how that unfolds. And there's the unfixed drone in 7th position. He is doing 1 minute 23 lap times at the moment, which is a couple of seconds off the pace of the fastest times we're seeing right now, which predictably are between Chris and Alex. Although Big Bad Wolf is hanging in there too. He's setting some very competitive lap times, but like we keep saying, he's been throwing it off the road so much that his net average lap time probably is a bit slower. But he's certainly got a good pace in these cars. Just needs the consistency. If he had the consistency, he'd be battling for the overall lead right now. And I think we saw someone going off in the back. Oh, that was Chris. He made a mistake coming in off turn 1, and that's put Alex right on the back of him. So a bit of pressure now for Chris Doherty, and the battle for the lead resumes. And if you remember, Alex pitted, probably not, a bit unfortunate. When he pitted, he came out in traffic and lost 5 seconds to Chris. And look, he's closed it right back up now as they head down Bentley Straight and passing one of the back markers there. I think it was D-Man 221. And he's all over the back of him now, and Chris will have to be careful not to make a mistake through the Big Bad Wolf corner. And he hasn't, and they both get through there. Good exit. We're riding on board now to see how Alex's car is handling behind Chris's car. And these cars, of course, haven't got massive amounts of downforce, so they can follow quite closely. There's not a great deal of turbulent air like you would get in an Indy car, for example, or maybe a GT car or an LMP car. So they can follow closely. Maybe that's what leads to the great races that we've seen in this type of car. As I head down the start-finish straight now, and Alex will be looking for any error that Chris makes. Chris would be very keen to put right the wrongs of Brands Hatch, where he had that crash, or a couple of crashes. He had good pace there too. And someone made a big lock-up just ahead there. Who was that? I think that's Scuderia Sam, actually. Yes, it is. Scuderia Sam made a mistake into the Montreal hairpin as they head down Bentley Straight now. So these two guys are not far off catching the second-placed man, Scuderia Sam, who will be making his pit stop soon, because we're on lap 18 of 21 and he hasn't pitted yet. And Big Bad Wolf has managed to keep it on the grey bit, and he's well ahead as Scuderia Sam does a bit of two-wheeling coming off the big sausage curve. And you can see how quickly these guys are closing in, and Alex will be hoping for an opportunity here to get past Chris if Chris gets wrong-footed by Scuderia Sam. It's quite a tense moment in the race as they head onto the main straight now, and Chris is in the slipstream of Scuderia Sam, who pulls into the pits. Scuderia Sam there, he's pulling into the pit lane for his pit stop, so he didn't want to get involved with that battle. He said, no thank you, you two carry on. I'm going to try and beat the Big Bad Wolf by staying on the circuit. And Chris Doherty still maintains the lead, but Alex now he's going to have a look down the inside. Chris goes a bit defensive and he locks a wheel there, but he's maintained the racing line, and Alex now is in his slipstream once more as we head down Bentley Straight, riding on board. Fantastic onboard footage here. And meanwhile, Scuderia Sam has got back out and he's well ahead of Stuart Davis, so Stuart Davis hasn't done enough to leapfrog him. And the Big Bad Wolf will be coming out just ahead of him too, assuming he makes it through his own corner. And you can see there, D-Man 221, he is in the background, he's in 8th position at the moment. So he's ahead of It's Ewan, but behind BDCC Dan and Unfixed Throne and Stuart Davis, who are all having their own private battle, although Stuart Davis is quite a bit ahead of the Unfixed Throne and BDCC Dan. And there's a Big Bad Wolf. Is he pitting? Yes, he is. Look, Big Bad Wolf is in the pits. So we'll see how far ahead he is of Scuderia Sam. And look at this now. Alex CDL is right on the back of Chris Doherty. This is the closest he's been on the pit straight since the beginning of the race. So we could be seeing a change for the lead here, with only a couple of laps left to run in this race. This is what we like to see. Tight battle going down to the wire in the last couple of laps for the lead. Chris Doherty goes a bit defensive. Alex goes a bit wide to try and get a slingshot, but it hasn't quite worked on this occasion. As Chris pulls away again, a couple of car lengths. And you need to be relatively close going into the braking zones in order to make a pass stick in these cars, because otherwise you'll lose the back end as you turn in with too much speed. But Alex has proved that he can drift these cars quite nicely. Oh no, he hasn't drifted it nicely there. He's off. Once again, the commentator's curse, and he is off the track at the Big Bad Wolf corner, otherwise known as Nelson corner. And he's on now again, but look, he's lost 2 seconds, and I think that'll be it now, because there's only 1 lap left to go after this one. And Chris will be really relieved looking in his mirrors and seeing a nice big empty space of tarmac that was once inhabited by Alex CDL, but Chris goes a bit wide there too. He's having a little go at getting on the dirt, and Alex now 2 seconds behind. He's not going to make up 2 seconds in lap time in 1 lap on Chris, unless Chris makes a mistake. We've seen a lot of mistakes in this race. These cars are very tricky little things to handle, so you never know. It's not over yet. The Scuderia Sam, he's going onto the main straight now to go and cross the line to start his last lap, and he is a few seconds behind the Big Bad Wolf, who made his pit stop and came out ahead. And there's Stuart Davis now coming around the last corner onto the main straight. Considering the carnage that he was in early in the race, he's done very well to get back up into 5th, and only 10 seconds behind Scuderia Sam, who has drove quite a consistent race. And now we're looking at the Unfixed Throne. He is back in 6th position. BDCC Dan is behind him in 7th, but there's a bit of a gap. So, to be honest, all the cars are quite spaced out now, so I don't know if there's going to be any changes of position on the last lap, unless there's some mistake somewhere. And there's BDCC Dan. He's been in the wars a little bit today. Dan Holloway, as he's known in PS4, he's did very, very well in the PS4 races that we've seen. He's been challenging for the lead, and he's driven superbly there. He's had the pace, but he doesn't seem to have had the pace in these same cars as much. And Chris Doherty there, and he crosses the line, and Chris Doherty wins the Clio Cup race here at Snetterton 200 circuit, and he defeats Alex CDL, who's in 2nd position. A fantastic race-long fight between them, and Big Bad Wolf here is going to claim the final spot on the podium after a fantastic fight himself with Scuderia Sam, although he probably should have been a lot further up the road. And Scuderia Sam, he did a clean race, let's say, as he hits the pit wall coming across the line. A clean race to finish in 4th position. And Stuart Davis chasing him down, he finishes in 5th position. And we look back now at BDCC Dan, who's in 6th. He's passed the unfixed drone. I'm not sure what happened, but look, there's the unfixed drone in the background. He's made a mistake. I think he made a mistake at the Big Bad Wolf corner. And BDCC Dan is going to get a surprise at the end of this race, and a nice surprise at that, finishing 6th position as long as he can get around the last corner on the grey bit. And the unfixed drone will be left ruin that little mistake that he made. But it's so easily done. I think pretty much all the drivers have made an error through there today. And he's going to cross the line. He takes 7th position. And D-Man221 will finish in 8th. And It's Ewan rounds it out in 9th position. What a great race today.